This building is an icon, a period piece from the very early 60s. It's actually called Googie architecture that was popular from the late 40s into the early 60s, particularly for drive-ins and restaurants, intended to be sort of exciting and distinctive, evocative of the space age era. It was designed by one of Seattle's and the Northwest's foremost Northwest architects, Roland Terry, and contributed to developing the Northwest style that combined that kind of modernism that was going on all over with something local, using local materials and using just really straightforward metal, stone, woodwork, craftsmanship, simple, functional design.
He's also done the canvas in, I think, 1950, which has always been one of my favorite modern buildings, and I'm really fascinated with that era of architecture.
Now this one goes a little bit beyond that in that it's an iconic design that takes the shape of a hexagon, a six-sided geometric form with a kind of elaborate roof structure intended to be an eye-catcher to draw people off of the street. Lake City Way is where a whole lot of traffic passes through, so the location couldn't be better.
I'd driven by so many times. I really felt it was one of Seattle's few remaining mid-century heritage buildings, I guess. It's you don't find this kind of place anymore in Seattle.
Welcome to Rubens Fest 2020. My name's Conrad from Rubens Brews, and here we are at the Growler Guys in Lake City Way. We've got this great, lovely open space here at the Stay Safe patio. We've got a band with us this evening, and Kelly and I are going to be going through some beers. Outside of that, we're going to have a lot more fun. We've got one of our brewers, Thor, here this evening, and we're going to taste through some of the beers that he's actually made as well, which is really kind of cool. So as we kind of go through a little bit of everything, technical difficulties, isn't that just all of 2020? So we ran into our own tonight, and here we are finally starting one more time. So as far as this evening goes, we've got a lot of fun plans. Scratch that, reverse it. We did this last year. Last year it worked a lot better because we didn't have to have a camera. We didn't have to worry about some of these different feeds. But here we are now because we wanted to do it again, and this is as good as it gets. So grab your beers, grab your friends, wherever you are. Hopefully you're enjoying a beer. Hopefully it's a Rubens. If not, cheers anyway, because life is about great beer. And if we can't enjoy great beer, good Lord, that sounds terrible. We can enjoy great beer. We're lucky to live in Washington. We're lucky to have all the great options around us. So hang on with us tonight because we're going to have some fun. Let's go ahead and take a look over at the band for a little bit, and then we'll get things moving for the rest of the evening. Let's check these guys out. again. So here we are with Kelly from the Growler Guys. Kelly, we know what our technical difficulties have been this evening, but how are you now?
I'm sweating. Yeah, but we're having some fun. Yeah. So our next event, we're working some bugs out, but yeah, we're selling a lot of beer.
Yeah.
We had a lot of great Rubens kegs on tap here too. So
Definitely.
pretty excited about that.
Yeah, so all in all, like right here at the Growler Guys, we've got 12, 13 different beers on tap. Probably the best selection currently outside of our own tap room. A lot of different can options as well, so definitely something to look forward to. So, for anybody who wants to join us next week as well, this is a free event to join us online, but if you'd like, you can, go up to the Growler Guys, follow the link for their shopping cart, and you can put all kinds of Rubens beer into your shopping cart. With that too, they are offering some delivery for next week, so keep your eyes peeled, because that could be really great for you. So
Yeah, we'll have. Yeah, so that's true. Plus, anyone who orders on our website actually gets a free bandana. It's the Rubens Fest bandana. It has two sides on it. So, and then the people who participate in both events, both today as well as Thursday, you'll be able to. One of you will win the grand prize, which is the Chancellor of Rubens Fest 2021.
yeah, that's going to be great. The Chancellor of Rubens Fest 2021. You'll get to help us choose bands. You'll get to help us choose beers. A lot to look forward to next year. So hopefully quarantine's a little different next year, and hopefully this is behind us, and then we can hang out here. If we decide to shove a carry in my face for next year, that's a different story. But here we are for now, and I'd love to see you guys all in person next year. So
I have some kegs to change.
Yeah.
Help with the bar a little bit. I'm gonna stand up and go.
Okay.
And gonna leave
Here we
things to
go,
you
guys.
for now, and then I'll be stopping back by. And I hear
Yeah.
we have a special guest here with
We do.
one of your brewers.
we do. We've got Thor here. So Thor's the only non-family member of the brewery who was a part of the brewery before me. So there we go. So kind of some fun times.
So I'm gonna bring you a beer. I'm gonna bring you the longest day or the long day short years.
Yep.
Right.
Long day, short
And
years.
that's our first tasting beer. Pretty soon there'll be a 1-minute countdown. I'll get you a beer, and so you can drink it with our guests.
All right, I love that. That'll be great. So yeah, guys, a lot of different fun this evening. So like Kelly said, we'll be starting off with our long days, short years. Part of that was the name, the inspiration for that, as any small business owner knows, you work your ass off, your days are long, and before you blink, you look back and it's been 8 years. So kind of fun. I was a customer from day one alongside with my wife and Thor, who's going to join us here in a minute. So there have been some long days in there, and it kind of makes us laugh to keep looking back, and before you know it, you're like, wow, where did that time go? I have not shut up about Rubens Brews the last 8 years of my life. So if that's as weird as it gets, man, pretty sweet life. So kind of fun with a lot of it. Like Kelly said, I know he's going to be changing around some other kegs, be bringing that beer to us here pretty soon. So hopefully we can get that started. We'll get Thor up here with us in just a minute. A little bit of all the other beers and things we'll be doing this evening. So we do have Thor, who's in charge of our barrel program and our sour program. So he'll talk you through, one of his own creations as well as some of our kettle sours as well. So really kind of cool to be able to bend his ear. I had to twist his arm to get him out here a little bit. Kind of he's the early morning guy. He puts in his long days at a much earlier time than I get to start mine. So all kind of good. But yeah, we'll have him here out with us pretty soon. So I think we'll be switching around to a couple different cuts around the bar here in just a second, and then we'll get to tasting some beer here pretty soon. So hopefully that does it for us. All right.
Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. My name's Joshua. I'm working with one of the bartenders here, do a little bit of everything. We all wear multiple hats. Coming back to Conrad right now. Obviously, we're going to be talking about this beer coming up here, your 8th anniversary. But some of the things I kind of want to run through real fast. Obviously, you've been in this game a long time. You know, so tell me about some of the things that you really love about being in this industry.
So, the things I love about this industry, when you really look at it, I've said it for years, there's assholes in every industry. They're fewer and far between in ours. That's what makes it worth living, because at the end of the day, there's always a beer. So even when you have those differences with folks, cool, let's sit down, crack a beer together, let's hash it out. That's one of the greatest parts about it. That and the creativity is what makes it so great. So, Josh, on that point, what got you into it?
Well, I mean, obviously, there's definitely those college years of loving beer. That is for sure. You know, your palate definitely grows. I mean,
totally.
I remember when I first started bartending, God, years ago, over 2 decades ago. It was Bud Light, Miller Lite,
right?
Michelob Ultra, and very few things. And then watching this industry grow, you know, from the first hef beer I had from Widmer to
Nice.
all the way down to learning about new things. It's been an ever evolving industry.
Yeah.
And every day it constantly changes. There's so many new things coming out every year, whether it be new hops that are actually graduating to just the fact that trends are changing and people's palates are changing as well.
Absolutely.
You know, it's definitely gone from just drinking yellow beer to drinking craft yellow beer.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so let's go ahead and break this down real fast. Obviously, this is your 8th anniversary. By the way, love the fact that every one of your employees are on here, by the way. You know, it is fantastic. It shows a little love to your staff. And I think that's one thing about Rubens that speaks a lot about your brewery, the family-oriented thing you have. I mean, from the top bottom, it's, you know, when you work for Rubens, I think
How do you guys feel about drinking that beer?
We want to drink that beer. There we go, guys.
What's the
There's
deal?
Kelly.
Are we
Here,
gonna
all
drink
right,
it
all
or
right,
what?
all right. We're gonna
You just
pour
gonna
out. We're
look
gonna
at
pour
it?
it out. We're gonna
Kelly,
pour
we
it
got a
out.
little bit for you too. Look at this.
All right.
Kelly, this first little one's for you. There's a little bit for you.
There we go. Yeah. Let's see.
All right, so enough about us talking about it. Let's drink about it, and then we'll discuss it.
There we go, guys. So this beer was aptly named as far as any small business, any brewery especially, is going to know. You put a lot of long hours into every single day. And before you blink, you turn around, you're 8 years older. Who knew when this brewery was started? Ruben was about to turn 3. That kid, what is he, about to be 11? Or maybe he just turned 11. I can't remember. So fortunately, he's not my son. I don't feel as bad for not remembering his birthday.
Oh, sorry, Adam.
Yeah, but so on the anniversary beer, really kind of cool because as far as the can label is concerned, these are all of our employees as of our anniversary. So a couple more have been added who didn't make the cut just on the screen. You know, their first week with us was just shortly after this beer was released. So, you know, that'll happen, but kind of cool. Everybody from the production team, the tap room team, office, all of us. You know, as far as everything's concerned, it's all about the love of the brewery and love of everybody inside of our brewery that makes it Rubens Brews.
All right, now for the beer nerds out there, we're gonna definitely cheers. But when we're done drinking this beer,
There we go, guys.
Let's talk about actually some of the taste profiles and the hop grain. And what did you guys actually put in this beer? What are you hitting on the nose right there, Conrad?
So with this one, I'm still getting a little bit of just bright citrus character. You're getting almost
Oh,
a little bit of
absolutely.
almost a little bit of lime kind of coming up just up front. So there's kind of a bright green character to it coming through. Still getting a little bit of that tropical character as it comes across. Having technical difficulties with my mask. But as this goes, this beer is hopped with, here we go. Sabro, Michigan Chinook, which Adam's become a real big fan of.
Sure.
Michigan Chinook's got this great big kind of bright pineapple character to it
Definitely.
as well. And then Citra. I mean, it's hard to go wrong. You've got this great tropical character coming through in this soft, pillowy body. So
That's one of the things I actually love about this beer. It is just so fluffy and soft. And and what's the ABV on this guy again?
this beer is 8.6% ABV.
You would
so
not know this beer is an 8%
it's an
beer.
imperial beer. It's one of those things that I loved about Adam and Rubens Brews in the first place from the early days. You know, I mentioned it earlier. As a customer from day one, I've woken up on the couch next to many half-full growlers of imperial IPAs from Rubens over the years. This one would almost be no different than that. You know, you're not getting any big fusel, any boozy character on the back end of it. It's just soft and just truly shows this just unique prettiness to a beer. You know, it's such a craft to be able to hide that ABV well, and that's something I fell in love with Rubens since our first Imperial IPAs dropped. You know, we opened on day one without a single IPA. That following weekend, we released our Imperial IPA. It wasn't ready for grand opening, but it was open. It was ready that second weekend. You know, you don't want to release a beer too soon if it's not ready. So yeah, kind of
that is fantastic. And the one thing I really love about this beer is it has that almost that little bit of dry finish at the end that when you put it down, you want to pick it back up again. And this is, for an 8th anniversary beer, I think you guys really, really honestly knocked this out of the park. Truthfully, I wish this kind of beer was actually available all year round, man. But it's definitely one of those beers that if you don't have it yet, you better get it soon, because it will be gone soon, if not gone already.
Absolutely. I know we're out of cans in the tap room.
Wow.
But Growler Guys does have cans of long days, short years.
What's that beer name again?
Long days, short years. I keep messing it up in my head all the time. It gets reversed too many times.
That's called Imperial beer. That's Imperial IPA, by
exactly,
the way. That's really what that is.
That first sip's already kicking in. That's exactly what it is.
That's fantastic, Conrad.
So, yeah. So kind of some fun things on that. So we've got a lot of other fun tricks up our sleeves as far as other beers coming out and things like that. But Adam's always kind of been a glass backwards guy when it comes to beer design.
I like that.
It's always been within reason. Here's the end goal. Here's what we're looking for. This is what we want. How do we do that? Cost be damned. Let's get exactly what we're looking for in the exact beer.
And I think one of the things that's really great about the beer industry is concerned, there's so many great styles of beer that you can make, but it also goes down to what do people want to consume? We definitely want to be ahead of the trends, and you guys by far are. I mean, how many GABFs are you standing at right now?
So as of now, I think it's five or six, right around there.
Only 5 or 6?
We're lucky enough as that competition gets harder and harder every year. When we first opened in 2012, there were 2,200 breweries across the country. Last year we broke over 8,000, and of that in competition, you look at it, it's tough. It's getting harder and harder every year.
For sure.
Some of the breweries that would walk away with maybe even 4 or 5.
To be on your top game. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys actually won a back-to-back for your Goza?
We did. So our Goza won back in 2015, 2016, if I remember correctly.
And that's incredible, by the way. And then, go back-to-back with someone on one beer alone.
Really pretty awesome as far as that's concerned. So we originally brewed our Goza as our 3rd anniversary beer. And then Adam actually had plans to brew that to add fruit to it, change the recipe a little bit. Then we won gold at GABF for that.
You can't.
And he was like,
No. You went
there we go. Okay, cool.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to be finishing up here soon and be kicking it over to somebody else. But, before we do that, I got to have one more sip of this beer.
Let's get after it.
What do you think?
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Cheers,
absolutely,
brother.
guys. And to y'all, folks, enjoy this.
Anybody at home, hopefully you're drinking this beer with us.
Absolutely. Don't chug it.
Of it. We safely maneuver it from A to B. 60 beers on tap. Changes every single day. And if you don't want a beer on tap, we got beers in cans for you. We got 6-packs, we got 4-packs. We have individual. We got everything you're looking for. Just come by.
Tell us about the screen.
screen. So right now we have 4 sours from Rubens. We're doing 4 5-ounce flights. 14 through 17 there. We've got the Goza, we've got the Farmer Note, we've got the Razzmatazz, and the Lily White.
Walk around this way. So, how's the screen categorized?
The screen basically goes light to dark. You can find all your stouts and porters at the very end there. IPAs right there in the middle. Pale ales over here. And all your German style sours and ciders are going to be on the very end over here.
All right. So does it help you?
Stuff we got on.
Does it help you figure out what to order?
And we got some ranch too.
Let's hear it for these guys. Frank Seeberger and Osama Afifi. Really nice. Well, I'm not sure how we're supposed to play till 8, but I don't know what's going on. We'll play one more. You out of here? This was a hit back, I don't know when it was. I was a little kid when it came out. I mean, a little kid. So, anyway, this is an old pop tune. I don't know, who the heck sang this one? I don't know, it was kind of on the charts in the 60s. It's a tune called Sunny.
Where are they? I'll meet them.
All right. That clapping you just heard in the background is for Rubens Farm and Oak beer. It's a fruit beer. A lot of love went into it. 6 months on cherries. It's really good. Everybody saw what I had, got jealous, and went ahead and bought their own pint. So everybody's loving that. Razzmatazz, we're liking that one. And next we're waiting for the fresh hop crikey to come out because, you know, fresh hop season's coming up. So remember, Growler guys, fresh hop festival. It's kind of a tradition, but tonight's all about Rubens. It's all about the love.
All right, guys, so I'm here with Thor. So I mentioned it earlier. Thor is the only person in the brewery who was there before me that isn't family.
I won. Yes.
He did. So we are both customers on day one. Both kind of fell in love with the brewery as far as it all goes. And here we are, 8 years later, working together. We've been here respectively 5 and 6 years. You know, so it's all been good, but we'll get past that. And let's get on to the fest beer because 'tis the season for fest beers. So we've already got a little bit of beer poured for us right here. We'll take a quick sip. So guys, if you want to taste your fest beer, go for it. If you decide to save it for another time, that's up to you. But Thor and I are going to do a quick cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers, buddy. Take a quick sip and we'll go through that and let you know what we taste. So personally, I love fest beer season. I love Oktoberfest. I love everything that comes with it because the lager drinker in me loves the light, crispy, and a little bit of sweet malt. Thor, where are you on the time period?
This beer is like the one that I think we all look forward to like all year long. You know, we're all brewers are kind of like lager drinkers at heart, and
right.
And the fest beer is definitely one that we all kind of covet when it comes out for sure.
Absolutely. It's like, you know, you drink so many heavy IPAs over the course of the year and so many stouts and everything else that comes through. At the end of the day, especially long days, short years, you want light, crisp, and refreshing.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have these introduced to ourselves again once the season comes around.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's nice. It's at 6%.
Right around,
a little bit higher than like what our Pilsner's at, and that kind of like slightly sweeter aftertaste kind of like leads you into the next sip.
Right.
It's something that's like quenching, but like full flavored.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's always
I find
cool.
myself drinking a lot more than I think.
Right. I mean, yeah, when this beer got canned the other day, just by the luck of the draw, the very end of the day, beer, and I was pretty envious that he was lucky enough to and gracious enough to share one with me, and so we drank 2 fest beers the day they were canned because I was just so happy to have this beer in my life again, since we don't, you know, we brew it and it's time to celebrate. So yeah, kind of crazy, but you know, a great little beer. I know Thor, if you, we know we were just we've got some sour beers coming up here in just a second, but Thor actually just brewed a few batches of fresh hop crikey earlier this week. So we'll have some fresh hop beers coming out to look forward to. But, you know, Thor, with fresh hop season, I guess give me your thoughts on it. It's a broad question, but
fresh hops are kind of the really fun, interesting beers to make. You can only make them for like 3 weeks out of the year when they come out. And it makes the brewery smell amazing.
It does. I wish you guys could walk through because that smell of just hundreds of pounds of fresh hops in the brewery is probably one of the greatest aromas. If you guys ever get a chance to be driving through the hop farms in Eastern Washington, just windows down during the harvest, it's incredible.
It's great to just like be able to like really connect with the ingredients that you use to make the beer. Working with the farmers that grow the hops,
right?
And being able to kind of just really see this like harvest come together, and then be able to like take that and make a beer that's really unique and one that like not everyone has access to. We're lucky enough here in Seattle to be really close to the Yakima Valley, where 70-80% of the nation's hops are grown.
Right. Pretty cool.
So I don't know. I love fresh hop beers. They're the best.
It's a great time. It's a great time. So we'll go ahead and move on to our tasters here. So part of Thor's function with the brewery is he's evolved from so much with us. Starting out as again like employee number 2, 3, and then like managing our tap room, building our first Randall for infusions, and then managing our sour and barrel program now. So it's really kind of rad with his culinary background. What he's a much better palate, more diverse palate than I have. Thor has taught me a lot about various produce through the years that have been used in some of our beers, which is really pretty awesome. But here we go. We've got our tasting flats. I'm going to move some of these other beers out of the way real quick. Yeah. We can kind of discuss through.
Maybe it's best to have those with us.
So I know with the 4 different beers we have this evening, left to right, starting with our Goza, what looks like, Kelly, you may need to correct me if I'm wrong, our Montmorency Cherry, the Razzmatazz, and then going on to 3 Reisman as our barley wine. So, still all things that Thor has gotten to manage and help develop over the years. I guess, Thor, whatever you want to start in.
Left to right, maybe? So the Goza is a beer we brewed originally for the, the 3rd year?
3rd anniversary.
3 years Goza Fest, I believe. And it's, it's your kind of like traditional style brewed. What's really interesting about this is, it almost has no hops in it,
right?
Which is kind of abnormal for a Seattle brewery to be making a beer,
right?
And then, it's soured with lactobacillus, which is a bacteria, which not a lot of breweries use bacteria to ferment their beer with.
So like he was saying, it's like we ended up winning gold at GABF 2 years in a row for this beer. And, Adam had actually plans to change the recipe for this beer, add fruit to it, but then you win gold and, let's keep it the same. And it was actually the first beer that we ended up canning, which was really kind of cool.
Yeah.
So kind of fun to play with that as that beer has evolved. Thor has gotten to pretty much brew this beer in each of our facilities. I don't know if you've gotten to brew it at the big production facility yet. I know you mostly manage the original and the main taproom brewery.
Mid-sized brewery. No, I haven't brewed it there, but
cool. So then let's go on to the
next one, Montmorency Cherry.
Yeah, here we go.
Farm and Oak. So this is a beer coming out of our wild program that we have. And what's great about this is we kind of take kind of the principles of the Goza in the way that it's brewed, and we do a lot more aging to it. So this beer started off as kind of like a red kind of rye-based saison that is then aged in oak for up to 2 years, and then after that we add about 400 pounds. I think we used this year 400 pounds of Montmorency cherries, which are a tart cherry grown in Eastern Washington.
Nice.
And I've been able to work with the farmer to get these cherries. They're like one of only 2 farms.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that.
In Washington that grow these cherries, and we're lucky enough to be able to use them.
Cheers to that, dude.
Yeah, you get like a lot of like pie cherry, like kind of like spice to it.
and then there's kind of like a mellow tartness to it, and then some funk from using a few different Brettanomyces strains.
Yeah, that gets really good. I mean, that little bit of Brett's there really kind of brightens up the fruit character quite a bit. And not, it's just the balance we always strive for. As we say, glass backwards, this is a perfect example of what we were going for and doing it in the right amount of balance, which is just beautiful. And then I guess now we'll go ahead and move on to the Razzmatazz.
Razzmatazz. This was another one of those beers that kind of came out of kind of like the development, the R&D side of the brewery, where we took a simple Berliner Weiss recipe, and then we started adding different fruits to it,
right?
And kind of figuring out which one we liked the most. Raspberry is a clear winner, so we just threw a ton of raspberries at this beer. It's tart, refreshing, and then has that beautiful like raspberry kind of like taste to it.
It's nice, super light, refreshing, 3.2% ABV. Like, it is one of those perfect summertime sippers. I don't know if you want to call it that. Some people do, but that beautiful, just bright pink hue. That's one that definitely comes through, and people see it move through the tap room, and people ask about it, and want one for themselves.
I grow raspberries at our pea patch.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
And this beer just tastes like I'm eating the raspberries off of my raspberry vines.
That juiciness is just right there, and it's so good. I mean, you get so much raspberry coming off the nose on that, and it's just great. And so, kind of like Thor mentioned earlier with the difference in, our kettle sours too, like with the Farm and Oak, the Montmorency Cherry, both the Goza and the Razzmatazz are kind of a quicker turn. I mean, we can make those beers happen in about 2 to 3 weeks. They do tie up the kettle for upwards of 18 hours for each turn to properly sour them. The Farm and Oak, like you said, that's a labor of love.
Yeah.
For Brett to do its thing and give it the right care.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And then we go on to Three Reisman.
Three Reisman. This is from our the other side of our barrel program.
The clean side.
The clean side of it. So this is a beer that was brewed 2017 was the first year I think we brewed it. It's a huge amount of rye added to it. There's tons of brown sugar added to this as well. We have to do 2 mashes into a single kettle just to get enough sugar into it to kind of like make this big boozy beer.
Right.
And then we age it in Heaven Hill whiskey barrels for between 6 months to a year.
Yeah. This has been a cool one because, like, from the early days of the brewery, this is one that Adam had always cool.
Mm-hmm.
So great beer. Adam always talked about making a rye wine. We finally were able to produce it. Now we're making it regularly. So I think we're going to cut to some other feed here in just a second. But in the meantime, take a sip of my lovely Three Reisman.
It's great. Favorite thing about it is just how big, bold, and full the body is. I just love it.
That's so beautiful. And didn't you just brew more of this?
Yep. We're kind of always kind of brewing more and adding to the barrels.
Right.
So that we always have a stock going. And then when it comes time to do it, we'll actually go through, taste each barrel, and then pick out which ones we want to blend into it.
That's perfect.
To kind of get that right balance that we strive for.
Yeah. So good. Such a lovely beer. And it's always been a favorite. Like, I was never much of a barley wine fan early on, but the love of rye and how Adam has brewed a lot of our rye beer since the early days.
Yeah.
Is always one of those ones of a delicate balance of using the right amount, and this just fell perfectly into opening up barley wines to my life.
Yeah.
Or kind of realistically, so.
Pick up that Three Reisman.
But what a beautiful color. It's a great hue.
So did somebody around here win an award for that beer?
We did. So GABF just this last year, we took home a medal for Three Reisman, and it's always such an honor to be able to win an award at GABF, regardless of what people think or not. It just shows, again, those long days, short years. You pour your heart into so much, and still walking away with one of those definitely goes a long way. kind of makes you smile, and then you drink one of these, you forget some of those short years. It helps the short years get even shorter as high, because this one's right around almost 13% ABV?
Almost 13.
Yeah, it's right out there. It's fun times.
All right, we're back. I'm rejoining you all. It's nice to sit down, Thor. I got to tell you, I love your beer, and especially the Three Reisman. We've had it on tap here multiple times, and yeah, it's beautiful. A little dangerous, like what you were saying, but yeah, it is really nice. I look forward. We just tapped the Mount Morrissey. I've been busy working ever since, so I haven't had a chance to try it. Tempted to drink your beer, but I'm not going to do that.
Oh,
So, and congratulations, on winning Warrior GABF. It's like the, as
we
good as it gets.
just sent GABF beers
Yeah,
out.
that's right.
So the next round is coming up here real soon. Hopefully we win something again.
Yeah, even GABF, even though they won't have the in-house, festival, they are still having the competition this year. So Thor's been busy brewing some of the small batch stuff to make sure that it could all be ready for competition.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, I look forward to seeing what happens there.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So, people are always asking me about this building. This building has kind of a deep history.
It's so unique. Yeah.
It is. There is also a network of tunnels actually that run through this part of Seattle, and they used to go to the building that was here before this building was made. But we made a video about it. We're going to roll that video, and
that's awesome.
I just want to make sure everyone knows that still, if you buy beer between now and the next show, you get one of these for free.
Nice.
You need a new bandana.
We're going to be getting.
I've been waiting.
Yeah, we're going to get Thor his new bandana here in just a second for participating. So all you guys at home, join us next week.